Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My good name is Evangelist. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing, and if you're my returning subscriber, you're always welcome. You know, this is always our home, and always feel free to share your comments, like, and also share this link to everyone. So guys, it's been a minute but I'm back, so I was just busy with some things. So you guys, you know what I'm here for. So kuna this issue that is really disturbing our mind. It's really echoing into our ears, the financial bill, and it has really distracted people's mind, jobs, and peace at large. So as we all know, this government was for the hustler nation, and so far the hustlers feels like they have been denied their right to also speak out on this financial bill. And thank God the media is outside here, and they've been let out, and they've come out to speak about their minds, and we can even see the Gen Zs are debating about it. And funny thing about it is that the funny thing about it is that the Gen Zs are the ones who are outside here for a strike na kufanya hizo debate zote. So I'm like, yes, our government knew very well that his main mission was to help and to guide the hustlers. But so far the way things are going in the opposite direction. Guys, just look at the views of how people are so heartbroken, and they feel like we don't need this as a country. We need to style up and to do better than that.
Tumechoka na wimbo ya Kashakwa na Ruto kama wananchi wa Kenya. Tunataka Kashakwa na Ruto mtufanyie kazi, mfanyie wananchi wa Kenya kazi. Tumechoka.
Naomba tu ipitishwe ili ikuwe ni funzo kwa Wakenya ambao walipigia hii serikali kura. Na pia upande wa Nyanza sisi pia sio hatuoni ngumu sana upande wetu, manake sisi tumezoea maisha mangumu. Ndio maana saa hizi tuko kwa soft life. Hata hizi mambo za hiyo unga yenye umeleta, hiyo unga ya umi, sisi hiyo unga hatuwezi tumia. Tunatumia unga kama hostess na mafuta ni sunflower.
Leo hii Raila Amolo Odinga sasa hataongelea finance bill ambaye nataka kumaliza wa Kenya. Leo hii Raila Amolo Odinga amemanage kupata nafasi yake. Sijaona nafasi ya watu ambao walikuwa wanampigania.
Sasa hii tutakula mkate na blue band. Jameni, wewe na watoto wako na bibi yako ndio mtakula mkate. Hata sisi watu kama chini unatuwekea mkate 150. Hata kazi yenyewe hakuna. Hata una haya. Wewe ni dictator wewe. Wewe ni dictator. Sitakuogopa, wewe ni dictator. Sasa hii unaongeza vitu kwa maduka. Hata una haya. Hata watu wakikuangalia Kenya za nje hata wanaona wewe sio president. Tu president gani? Sisi tunakuja hapa kila siku kutetea hapa na hakuna kazi. Wewe sio president. Susan Kiika. Huyu mama ambaye kazi pia imemshinda. Huyu ameshindwa toka. Step down Susan. Tunarudisha Lee. Tunaongea hata una huruma. Nyinyi watu ni dictator. Hata muna huruma, muna haya hata kupewa mama kazi. MP Arama tulimpea kura hapa. Tulimpea kura. Huyo baba pia anataka kuongea. Saa ile mimi nimekufa ndiye anatoa 5,000. Na saa hii niko mzima hataki kunisaidia. Kwa nini? Wewe Rama wewe. Wakisi angalieni yeye. Amekataa kunisaidia, angalieni yeye Wakisi. Hata aende Kisii hata aende Kisii utapata kura. 5,000 ya nini? 5,000 itanipeleka mashamba. 5,000 itanipeleka Ugenya. 5,000 itanipeleka Ugunja. Kwenda huko wewe. Saidia mimi saa hii, mimi niko mzima. Sijakwambia nataka kukufa saa hii. Saidia mimi Arama. Wacha kucheza na watu hapa. Juzi maji iliingilia watu kwa manyumba. Mimi maji iliingilia kwa nyumba. Sijaona msaada yoyote. Nasikia juzi wakisija ulipewa 4,000 na chakula. Mimi sijaona iko wapi. Saidia kabila yote. Sikusaidia mtu mmoja, sikusaidia Wakisi. Wewe, uongozi wa Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta ilikuwa uongozi mzuri. Hatukulia, hatukuongea, tulikuwa tumenyamaza, hata hatukuwa tunakuja hapa kupika kelele. Wetangula si kiongozi. Ndio. Sema yote.
Ruto, ole wako. 2027 tunakungoja. Tunakungoja 2027. Wacha vile ulikuwa unaojiwa jana usiku unaongea matope.
Go home.
Unaongea matope. Hata kiongozi haifai aongee hivyo venye uliongea jana. Unaulizwa maswali, unaongea kwa Wakenya ambao walikupigia kura vibaya. Mpaka unasema ati hakuna yule alituma wa mama kwenda kuzaa. Tena
utaana mbegu.
Wacha kutulazimisha na financial bill. Hii tumekataa na tutaki. Na hata nikiamuswa usiku saa 8 nitasema bado sitaki hiyo. Niliona paka MP wa hapa anaitwa Rama. Juzi tulimuona pale akisema eti atapiga no. Jana ulienda kufanya nini State House na wewe si mwana UDA? Na leo tutakaa kwa TV na kesho tukikuona walai umepiga yes, baki Nairobi na Ruto. Usikuje huko. Baki Nairobi na Ruto. Hii ni onyo ya wananchi. Hii Kenya ni kidogo sana. Wananchi wote wakitoka waende wakunye pale kwa barabara. Hakuna gari kupita, hakuna kitu yote kupita. Wakenya waende tu pale kwa barabara pale. Waende wakunye pale kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni. Kenya tumetengeneza. The whole of Nakuru County kesho tuko na maandamano. Na hii imetangazwa. Mimi nimetangaza, mimi naitwa Evans Nyando. Kesho tuko na maandamano. Na mimi niko tayari kuwekwa ndani. Maduka zote zenye ziko hapa Nakuru zote CBD wapi?
So and we're like, what is happening? This shouldn't be happening. So I'm like, back in my mind, you said that you will work on the budget. You said that you will work on the economy of this place. Okay, ni sawa, hukutaka kukopa, but how about the Kenyans? We are dealing with people who don't have like great savings. People who are just working hand to mouth. You see, it's not like I'm also among the people who are rejecting this financial bill because it is too much high. You know, things like mukate bread, this is something that people consume every day, and we have something like sanitary pads, jamani. Sanitary pads, this is something that, you know, like earlier before the sanitary pads become commonly to organizations, people, like most of people, they never used to go to school, like especially when they're in their periods. So that's like for now, if you try to increase the price of the pads, it's like you're again diminishing us. It's like you want to do away with the girls' rights. You see, which is not good. Ni sawa, like, but also we have like salad, cooking oil. Cooking oil is also something that people consume every day. You know, there's some things that you should wait before increasing. I don't know if these people have meetings before doing something, because the way things that are going, it's like they just woke up in the morning and decided to let us just come up with a rough up budget and let us announce it. This will be the 24 to 2025 budget, which is not adding up to people. And I'm so glad that this time the Gen Zs are the ones who came out to do the strike, who came out to speak out. One thing that our president should know is that he's leading a very educated generation. Is ile generation ya kitambo that when you'll just come up with a budget and whether the Kenyans like it or not, this is what they will follow. I'm really thrilled, and I'm like, we are going somewhere. At least Kenyans have taken have taken a step ahead to come out to speak about how they feel about this.
We're not here for the views, we're here to air our issues, and we have read the bill. Sindo, she's a law student, so you can get where we're coming from. Personally, my biggest issue is on period poverty. Them taxing us on the imported sanitary towels, and those are the ones that are available to us. What if we get the imported ones plus the locally manufactured ones? Zote, tutakuwa na period poverty kweli?
Of course, as a young woman, as a feminist, period poverty, the diaper situation, absolutely horrendous. The blatant disrespect for the Constitution of Kenya. I think the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is one of the most phenomenally written constitutions. It's dynamic, yet it's clear. for example, Article 37, the right to picket. We have members of parliament telling us that you cannot picket without permission. That is completely untrue. I don't mind paying taxes. I don't have an issue with paying taxes. But there has to be, one, a sense of accountability as to where our taxes are going. And two, there has to be some level of equity. There's no way the wealthy are not facing the same taxes that the poor and the middle class are facing. So as a young person, I am seeing a future in which I cannot afford to leave my mother's house. But we can't even say nitakalia kwa mamangu hadi nichape na chief, because at 25 bora, at the end of the day, you will pay tax, whether you like it or not. They're taxing the poor out of the last of their money, and you cannot tax your way out of poverty.
You see, and another thing, the way people are discussing the budget thing, it's not like we are against our president. No, we are not against our president. We are just against the economy. The economy itself is not friendly. Kumbuka says there are no help, there are no things like, like those funding things, bursaries, like the way they used to do, like randomly, like every now and then. For now, but to no bursary, like now education system is that high, the economy itself is that high. Like where are we going as Kenyans? You see, so this financial bill is something that it might look like a joke, but it's not a joke. Maybe for now tunaweza like we tunaikataa nini, but in a long-term thing, it's something serious. Something serious that if it's not going to be taken serious now, it's going to cost a lot of people, and that only means that drug abuse is going to increase, crime rate is going to increase, especially in the slums and everywhere. And this is things that we were trying to do away with, and that's why I love Millie Odhiambo. Shout out to that. I mean, who don't love that woman? Millie Odhiambo is someone like, she's really doing it well there in the government, and I'm going to share her video of her trying to defend this financial bill. Namuione.
Mr. Speaker, this is in response to what you are telling me earlier in the morning when you are urging me to be a good example to the girls, the younger ones who are doing their first term. Mr. Speaker, if they are good girls, they'll never get corner office. Be as bad as Millie Odhiambo, you will be the mother of this house. I am a bad girl, and as a bad girl, I'm here serving my 4th term. So do not be cheated like the African culture where you are told have decorum, dress nicely, be kind, be nice. I'm telling you, you will go nowhere. Be a bad girl like me and you'll get somewhere. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I wish to declare my interest under the standing orders number 90, which Wamushomba stood on, because I don't want to be declared disorderly. And that is because when you have a pecuniary or personal interest, you declare. And Mr. Speaker, I want to declare my interest as a former user of sanitary towels, and as Dynasty as a former user of diapers, and as a future user of diapers. Because as a woman, once you get menopausal, you will have leaks and you will use diapers. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say, it's not all women, so Rosa should not be worried, but there are women who get leaks. And I want to say that there are people, because we don't want to have shame over menopausal issues, we don't want shame over period. And Mr. Speaker, I am saying this because I've been sitting here today listening patiently to the men talking about sanitary towels that is in the finance bill. And they are speaking with authority. If we wanted to save money, the way the finance committee has done, and want to tax anything else, go and tax men innerwears. Go and tax men innerwears. Don't speak on our issues as women. Let us be the one to speak about sanitary towels. We are the ones who know what works for us, and you are saying we want to encourage the local manufacturing. While you are waiting to enable our local manufacturing agencies to create those sanitary towels, will we tell our periods to stop? Our periods will not stop while you are manufacturing. Our girls will have their menses as usual, and the cost that they are used to will be higher because that will come through underground. What I am saying is, Mr. Speaker, I do not support the finance bill. And I'll give you the reasons why I don't support it. One, I don't support it because it's devoid of a strong policy underpinning. Number two, I don't support it because it's not premised on a better model, but on a beta model. The KK government told us that their things are premised on BETA. But increasingly, we are seeing it premised on BITTER, beta model. That's why I'll not support it. And Mr. Speaker, the other reason I will not support it, it's because it encourages opulence. Look at how much money I have. Look at the price of my watch. It's a 5 million watch, and I'll explain why, Mr. Speaker. So do not be in a hurry to ask me to explain. I'm going to explain. Mr. Speaker, number one, the one I've talked about, the tax system that is devoid of a strong policy underpinning or premised on a flawed policy underpinning. I will give you the example of the eco-levy that seeks to strike a balance between the economy and ecology but fails miserably to do that. Mr. Speaker, if I give you an example, this government has actually sponsored or facilitated the roads in Fangano Island and the tarmac in Rusinga Island, even though they are taking pretty long. And I want to tell you, Mr. Speaker, that if you are to use this model, the taxing model that they are saying, then it means that a contractor who is doing those roads and earning billions on those roads, Mr. Speaker, when they destroy the environment, the fishermen from Rembaringiti, Rusinga, Mfangano, and Sukuru Island, who will be making at most 1,000, will be asked to repair that person's damage through tax, forgetting the PPP principle. The person who destroys is the one who should pay that damage, not me. The fisherman of Omena making 1,000, you are expecting me to pay the tax of a person who is earning billions doing that road. I do not support this tax. Mr. Speaker, I can give you another example. Mr. Speaker, the second example I'm going to give is on the issue of the smartphones again. And I want to thank Honorable Rachel Nyamai, who actually said that one of the ladies that she's sponsoring her education, when she talked to her, the lady told her, I'm here doing TikTok. And we do not actually seem to understand how that relates to this tax. Now I'll tell how it relates to this tax. Mr. Speaker, if you are taxing digital content, Mr. Speaker, this girl has gone to town. I can tell you after this, Rachel Nyamai, myself and others will be on TikTok. The girls will be imitating us on TikTok. And they will be making money imitating us on TikTok. And then under this tax, we are telling them we are taxing you, TikTok. Why? They are doing that because there are no jobs. They have become innovative and look for their own jobs. And after they have got their own jobs, an industry that has not solidified, like teaching, like law, we want to kill that industry that is helping our young people. That is why the Gen Zs were on the streets. And Mr. Speaker, I'm so thrilled that I was shown a photo of a young girl who looks like me, and some people were saying, Millie, we can see you are here now, you can retire. And I wish she was in my constituency, I would have retired tomorrow. And Mr. Speaker, yesterday, my own niece, who I am the one who was raised since she was in primary school, she's lived in my house. I was with her. And I tried all means to try and divert her attention from what was going. How she managed to sneak in, and this morning she's telling me, and Mr. Speaker, before I got to what she was telling me, I told her, can I give you a lift to town? She told me, no, auntie, I cannot be associated with members of parliament. Your generation, you have messed this country. We have to fix it. Gen Z. if we do not take Tuesday, Super Tuesday, as a wake-up call as a country, I don't know what else will take up as a wake-up call as a country. And I want to tell the president, who I served with in the same committee in parliament, who was my classmate in the university, fire those guys that you have hired who are giving you economic advice. They are not helping you at all. How do you even imagine bringing something like taxing bread, even if it is as a joke? That is a joke carried too far. That is a joke carried too far. You can crack doctors elsewhere. You can find a situation where the young people have banned the country based on your joke. Try those jokes elsewhere. Because Kenyans are suffering. Kenyans are tired of being taxed. And if we cannot listen to the Kenyans who are tired of being taxed, we have no business being in this house. We must listen to the Kenyans. And I want to say that you have done well in trying to deal with some of those issues. But there are still very many that are still here, Mr. Speaker. Because we have a short time, I may not mention all of them. But I want to say, like, for instance, the eco-levy. We are talking about trying to be environmentally friendly. Yet the things that we are taxing, we are not doing exactly that, Mr. Speaker. And we are taking away jobs of young people by the tax. Look at the increase in fuel. We are taking with the right hand. We are saying we are removing the tax with the right hand and adding with the left hand. Mr. Speaker, I had a lot to say about this, but I can see my time is almost up. And what I can see on my side, they want to add me. But I want to say that because of time I may not speak, but I just want to urge the president, fire the guys who are around you. Listen to Kenyans. I was speaking to some of my colleagues here. Thank goodness I've been here for a long time. I was speaking, Mr. Speaker, if you could humor me by just giving me 1 minute, and I'll conclude.
Conclude.
Thank you. I appreciate. Mr. Speaker, I was speaking to some of my colleagues here, and I will not mention their names. About 3 weeks ago, they know because I talked to them yesterday, and I was telling them, your ground is getting terrible.
Continue rioting! Continue rioting! We are the people! We are the people! Revolution belongs to us!
No financial bill and the protest, but big up me to the disease. Tumiamka, me the Gen Z, you guys are doing a very great job. And to the policemen, tafadhali, you are not being paid to go outside there to try na kurusha tear gas na killings and kubeba watu kuingiza ndani ya the lorry. It's not a good picture. These are just people, helpless people trying to fight for their rights. Na kama you're just like policemen, as I know, every Kenyan have a right to strike. It's their right. The best thing the police should do, just try to protect them, not to destroy people. Unless kama kuna commotions mingi zile za could destroy things, then the police should not try to use the tear gas, should not try to use even the bullets. Like, tulieni.
Napigania hapa hao askari ambao wananishika. Hao pia ni wanyonge kama mimi na wananishika mimi mnyonge. Wakenya msiogope. Msiogope. Hampaswi kuogopa. Hata askari pia na wapigania.
I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going.
Just cooperate.
I'm not cooperating. I'm not going.
Madam.
Don't touch me.
Madam, okay.
I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not cooperating and I'm not going.
What is your right?
Why are you arresting me?
Why do you protest?
Why? Give me a reason. I protest because you're killing us.
Who is killing you?
You police. You're killing us in our communities. Poor communities. Why do you want to arrest me? People power! People's power! People's power! When we lose our fear, the
in this. It's not like you're not in this country. The policemen, we are together in this. Yeah? It's not me, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Me accept this financial bill. Na pia mimi nani, like, where am I? Hata pia mimi nani affect as a Kenyan. And even the policemen, it's also affecting you. Because it's not good. It's not good, like we're saying. This is a young generation. And I'm so happy seeing like these people, they know their rights. They know when to say yes and they know when to say no. They know when to accept things that are just happening and they know how to accept, to deny things that it's not happening right.
I say that I reject this finance bill. Madam Speaker, the reason as to why I'm saying I'm rejecting the finance bill, not just rejecting partially, but in totality. Because, Madam Speaker, this is a finance bill that from the onset, there is always increased taxation, item by item, detail by detail, up to the end. I want to say, Madam Speaker, because I recognize that we were advised by the Honorable Speaker Wetangula that we can present our contributions based on linkages, based on our opinions, based on the budget, and based on the finance bill that is current on the table. Madam Speaker, I want to say that as Kenyans, first and foremost, we were disappointed with the presentation that was given by the PS Treasury. Madam Speaker, I want to say that Kenyans keenly listened to how revenue was going to be generated to fix what is proposed in the budget. Madam Speaker, I want to say that Kenyans were left shocked because what was proposed, one of the things was we raised revenue because we want to sort out our pending bills. Madam Speaker, it is on the floor of this House that we were told that we have to wait for consolidation of the pending bills in this country by October. For that reason, Madam Speaker, I reject even the reason as to why we are increasing the taxes so that we can foot our pending bills. Madam Speaker, I want to say that this House, the leaders must rise up and support. And I want to ride on the presentation by MP Honorable Sylvia, who said that personally she does not understand what a finance bill is. I want to say that even yesterday we know that our colleagues were invited at State House. I thought they were going to make meaningful contributions, Madam Speaker, and give contribution as to why they think they are under siege in the respective constituencies where they come from. Madam Speaker, I want to register in this House that we share as colleagues, but the kind of issues that we are saying that we are relying, the Azimio of this other side of opposition is relying on social media. Why did they choose to act, Madam Speaker, on the social media by telling us along the corridors that all the things you were arguing about, we have dropped? Madam Speaker, that was bread issue. Madam Speaker, the taxation of the motorcycle, which means they are also conflicting and contradicting what they are saying, Madam Speaker. Why did they also choose to act on the issues of social media? Why did they choose to respond to the Fourth Estate? Madam Speaker, I want to say that public participation needs to be redefined in this House. Yesterday, when we watched over the television, Madam Speaker, I saw a desperate minority whip. That is, I saw a desperate Honorable Whip Osoro, when he was very desperate of trying to convince Kenyans and deeply thinking on how taxation on bread has been dropped, on how taxation of motorcycles have been dropped. I saw a desperate and so much a person who is under pressure. Madam Speaker, I want to say that we must stand firm on the floor of this House and rise beyond numbers. Issues of numbers does not arise when we are talking about finance bill. Madam Speaker, I want to say that finance bill 2023 can equally be applicable on this budget that we want to appropriate. Madam Speaker, I want to say that there must be progression on how we generate our taxes. Madam Speaker, private sectors, I wish you gave me one more minute, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have valid points. Kindly, I'm requesting for 1 minute, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much. Being a woman speaker, you know very well the problems we have. I've transversed in these industries. Private sectors are key If they migrate from this country, we must take care of their interests. When we talk about zero rating, we go to standard rating. We are talking of exempt. The final sufferers are consumers. President Yoweri Museveni said that Kenyans must learn to produce and manufacture their raw materials. Where is this in finance bill?